Coverage of World Dairy Expo is brought to you by DuPont Pioneer. From planting through feed-out, helping you maximize the tonnage and quality of your feed.
Even before the expiration of the Farm Bill, U.S. dairy policy was at a crossroads. The National Milk Producers Federation created a reform package that is now part of the proposed Farm Bill, but their version of a supply management program has been highly controversial. At the World Dairy Expo, dairy farmers opposed to that plan announced they were throwing their support behind an alternative. Ag Day's Michelle Rook has details.
The dairy industry is lining up on both sides of the dairy policy in the proposed Farm Bill. Those supporting the Dairy Security Act say its best feature is its margin protection insurance.
It allows farmers to help manage their risk and ensure that we don't have all these ups and downs like we've had, because they're just tired of it. And we're losing farms every day.
However, to purchase insurance, dairymen must also enter into a supply management program.
You have some responsibility to look at what's happening on the supply side, because without that, you'd have a tremendous amount of payouts through the taxpayers and the government.
Economists analyzing the Dairy Security Act say it may have unintended consequences, like limiting U.S. export growth.
Supply management, they argue, well, it's not going to interfere with that. Well, it does send kind of a message to the world that maybe we're not as serious about supplying the world market as we think we are.
And he says it may stifle the expansion mode the dairy industry is in.
Even though these supply management programs are not like the Canadian programs or a quota system, they still may kick in at times that these farmers maybe want to grow.
The controversy over the Dairy Security Act supply management program is heated up, and some producers are now supporting an amendment being offered by Representatives Goodlatte and Scott.
What we're looking for is for us to put the Goodlatte-Scott amendment in instead, using margin insurance for protection versus trying to control inventory and supply.
He says they oppose supply management because it goes against the free market system and penalizes larger producers for doing a good job.
If you produce more this year than you did the year before, and the program would be kicked in right now, you would keep a portion of my milk check.
However, National Milk counters that their program is voluntary and the Goodlatte legislation is hypocritical.
That is your classical supply management program, because the Goodlatte amendment caps production at 80% for the 5-year period and doesn't allow anybody to purchase insurance for new growths.
Dairymen also need to look at the fine print on margin insurance.
We're told that having minimum insurance under the Dairy Security Program is not that beneficial to most. They have to buy up insurances.
So producers remain divided about dairy policy.
I believe we need some sort of supply management in place. I don't know that the one that's being considered right now is the right one.
The bulk of the producer community supports the Dairy Security Act.
At the World Dairy Expo in Madison, Wisconsin, I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Day.
Thanks, Michelle. Kozak says Congressman Goodlatte already tried to attach his amendment to the House version of the Farm Bill, and it failed in committee. That's why he's confident Congress will pass the Farm Bill during the lame duck session with the Dairy Security Act intact.